Hi everyone, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. Just a little show and tell today. First of all, I followed Natasha's tutorial on how she works with glue, diluted glue, and tissue paper and things. The last one she actually used paper towel, which intrigued me, and so I tried that too. But here, let's start with the top one I have so it's not so loud. So this top one was made with 2 pieces of just tissue paper, and I used a fruit tea that had not been used, and as you can see, the colors in the tea, they bled, which I don't mind. And then I used some heart-shaped pieces of paper punched out. Now I backed this one onto parchment paper, so the back is not shiny at all. In fact, the front is actually a little shinier, but that's okay too. Okay, so that was just 2 pieces of very thin tissue paper. It's not my favorite. It's okay, I'll use it, but it's not my favorite. This one is 1 piece of white paper towel, or half of it I should say. Half paper towel because we separated the plies. This one was also laid on parchment paper, and so it does have a little bit of the texture from the paper towel, which I don't mind. And I topped this one with that very thin tissue paper as well. Okay, I don't mind that, but also not my favorite. This one, well, I'll have to skip one here to make it make more sense. This one I used a ply of paper towel that I had cleaned the jelly plate with one time, and I loved the colors that I was using, and so I just separated it. Also laid it on parchment paper to dry, and if you can see, it has the texture of the paper towel, which I don't mind in this case. I was actually liking the whole thing and waiting to see what I would make with this, so I was glad to see Natasha do this tutorial because I wanted to give this a try, and I do really like this one. It's one of my favorites. It's not really see-through because the paint on this ply was heavier, but nonetheless I still like that one. Now this is the other ply from that same piece of paper towel, and it is rather see-through, so I can see the heart bits on the other side. And to me, this one is just a little brighter because the colors aren't as dark as on the other one. So this one is also in my top favorites. And this one was done on paper towel, half a ply, or 1 ply rather, and then tea bags and used tea. I didn't open a fresh tea for this one, but the used tea is actually on the tea bags. So I opened the tea bags carefully and just kind of tried to get off most of the tea. I left some on because I knew I was going to use it for this project. Normally I don't like to have any tea residue on the used bags that I store. So this was a new one for me. They were dry because they don't take very long to dry, but at the same time, this one feels more brittle to me for some reason. It might not be, but it's definitely the strongest, I think, of all of them. So yeah, this was 1 ply of paper towel. not, well, I do see some texture, but it's not bad. I don't actually, if I didn't know these were tea bags, I might not even realize it, but I have the edges of the tea bags here. If I were to cut this down though, I might easily forget that I used tea bags. And I only did 2 layers of papers, like one piece of paper towel, and then I just kind of overlapped the tea bags so that they would cover the whole area. So that is one of my favorites. I'm just a little unsure how I'm going to use this one, just because it is really, it's stiff. And it'll probably, yeah, it's cracking already. So this would only be able to be used if I put it in a flat, as a flat piece inside a journal or wherever. But yeah, it would definitely crack here. It started already, so I may as well finish. You can see. Very obvious, especially at the top and bottom. Yeah. So that would not make a very good page in a journal, but I think it could be useful for other things. I'll have to see what I do with that. And now this one is the same idea, except I have 2 pieces of paper towel, and I have some of the tea bags that were left. They didn't have as much tea on them, and you can't see them because they're covered up. And this one will probably break as well. Let's see. I do the brittle test, and it does break very easily. So this is the paper towel, mostly paper towel. Although over here, the tea bags went up to this part. This is not tea bag. But I think it's all going to be brittle now. Yeah. Listen to that pop. So that there immediately reduces to me what I will be able to use it for. I've not worked with anything that brittle before and I think the difference must be the paper towel, because I've done other things with tea bag, and I've done things with tissue paper, like the back plies of a napkin. I've done the same technique with that, and while it was somewhat brittle, it was not nearly like that. This is the first one I showed, and it has no paper towel in it. It's still brittle, so it's just not as loud when it breaks. For some reason, I thought it would be stronger. Well, it is strong, but it's brittle, and it will crack and break if you bend it and fold it and try to manipulate it. Alright, so there's that. That's as far as I've gotten, and I think as far as the paper towel goes, I'll probably continue using it in this way if it has acrylic paint on it, because I really do like the colors of it. And I'm just wondering if the acrylic will help this. See, the acrylic is really cool because so far this is not breaking. I mean, it will if I bend it too much. But of all of them, if I wanted to make a journal page or a cover even, this is the one I would use, and the difference is the acrylic paint on the paper towel. So then any page or anything that you would do with this project, if you wanted to apply this technique, I would say your best bet, if you wanted to use it as a page, is to use one that has acrylic paint on it. Because it's least likely to crack. This one I think actually did not crack yet, so. But yeah, this one had the heaviest coat of acrylic on it. So that is something that I did not know going in. So I did learn that just by doing this video. So I hope that is helpful to anybody who is watching Natasha's video and maybe was thinking of, because she did mention using paper towel that had been used to wipe off a jelly plate, so I thought I would try that. So that's why I tried this, because she mentioned it. But the results I did not realize would be so stark using the acrylic paint on the paper towel. So there's that. And then I did one other thing that I wanted to show you, and that is I have these ABCs of Salvation. They're available through the jdfarag.org website. They're free, and there's many languages, there's many forms of the ABCs of Salvation, and I like to put them in people's mailboxes, in books, in journals. And so I was thinking of how to apply them in journals. So what I did was I printed out a sheet of these, and then I cut them into tag shapes, and then I backed them with just digital paper, which made them nice and sturdy. I actually printed these on file folder. I cut a piece of file folder down to 8.5 by 11 inches and ran them through the printer, and then I backed them onto the digital papers that you see. And then for a tab, I needed something specific, because there's not a lot of room up here to make like an eyelet or anything. So I decided to go with these butterflies, and so I cut them in half, and then I just glued them on there, and they're actually quite pretty, and I'm hoping they'll get some attention in the journals. Yeah, so I thought that was, I hadn't done these before, so these are new to me, and so I just thought I would share that so that you could maybe get some ideas on how you could share the gospel and another way to do it. So that's what I have for you today. Very short and sweet, I hope, but it gives you some inspiration and just to show you what I've been doing on my, well, I did that on the weekend. So alright, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.